Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of John the Comic Guy. Today's episode is going to be held in two parts. The first part is going to be my conclusion of the interview with Ernie. If you have not yet seen the first part of this, stop this video and go back and watch the previous episode, because then you're going to see my best friend in life, my adventures with him in comic books, how he got me started, and a couple of the regrets. And you're going to hear about my regrets with the person who was witness to them. The second part of this episode is going to be my very first reveal video. So I just picked up approximately 400 comics, and I'm going to give you a hint on the genre. Bad girls, girls, girls. So if any of you out there like bad girl books, stick around and you're going to see my first reveal video with about a box and a half full of bad girl books. Thanks, and let's get to the conclusion of my interview with Ernie. Ernie, I always loved the toys that you had. And a couple of my viewers are big toy people. So Matt from Patriot Comics, he's a big toy collector. And so Matt, check these toys out. Ernie, if you don't mind, I remember us playing mostly with your toys because they were so wild. And these go for big bucks now. Big bucks.
So, John, what were these? What were these officially called?
They were so if people remember color forms, the color forms were typically you had like a kind of glossy cardboard and you put flat plastic on them and peel them and play. But they did venture with a toy line called the color form aliens. So if anybody Googles it, you're going to see color form aliens, and these aliens represented each planet of our solar system. So I forget. I think the one in your left hand is the one from Saturn. I forget.
This was, I think, was it Mercury, or
Oh, it might have been.
because he was red or pink? But the thing about these, they also came with plastic helmets. I don't think the Brain guy had it. Obviously, it's This Island Earth, right? That was the monster from the movie This Island Earth. But they came with they each had a weapon that was plastic and a helmet that was plastic. Nice. And sadly, I don't have those anymore. And I know this guy was always one of our favorites. What was he? What planet was he from?
He was from Jupiter, and that was Colossus Rex.
I don't think he had a helmet, but he had a staff, if I read, some sort of a mace.
That he had. I'm getting toy of it again, guys. I am 58 years old, and I am getting so jealous looking at my friend's toys right now. So if anybody just wants to Google it, Google Colorform Alien Colossus Rex and see what that toy goes for. It's hundreds. It's hundreds. If you have the whole collection,
you've got one of these, right?
I do.
Captain Laser.
You might see it in my, but so I have a Captain Laser as well. I love Captain Laser. Not one single Captain Laser that I ever owned worked.
He was part of the Matt Mason, right? He was part of the Matt Mason universe. Even my Matt Mason's pretty worse for wear. But I used to have a lot of the toys that went with Matt Mason. Do you have all the accoutrements with yours?
Like I don't.
Yeah.
I have the
gun.
Nor
do I.
Right. I have the helmet. But he used to have these like three circular things for his feet. I don't have that.
For his feet?
Yep, they had something that would kind of stand him better on his feet. And when you were pointing to the gun, there was like a little pink or red piece of plastic that would go in there. And when it turned on, it would kind of light up.
Yeah, you had three buttons back here. Two batteries go in here. Three buttons. One button would light up the gun in different ways. One, his eyes would light up.
Yeah.
Remember his eyes? Yes. And one, his chest would light up.
So cool. And I believe the history behind it was the people who manufactured Major Matt Mason, whoever they are, they put this character out so he could play more with the 12-inch G.I. Joe world, right? It kind of put them a little competitive. I don't think this toy ever took off, but I think it looks so cool. I've always loved Captain Laser.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Captain Laser, and he's very sturdy. Unlike Matt Mason, who peeled, right? I mean, if he's in this Mattel line, he peeled a lot. this guy could look almost as good as new the way he was made, right?
Looks like you got them right out of the box. And the thing with the standard 7-inch figures, which includes the colorform alien and the major Matt Mason lines, is they had that wire. They're rubber, and they had that wire which would kind of hold them into position. But I think we all know if you have wire, you bend it back and forth 10, 20 times, and they would succumb to wear, and they would ultimately just kind of break off. But
Yeah, my man from Venus, you may have noticed his arms hanging, so and I can see the wire, but yeah, he's seen better days.
I'll tell you, those toys. I always say, if you ever, and I know you say, John, they're going with me. If you ever want to get rid of them, brother, you know who to.
Yeah, I
I
know
would
they'd be in
glad.
good care.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. All the people who are into comics and or toys, uh, those are toys you really just don't see anymore. And afterwards, they started making the figures, I think 3.5 inch. So that was the last of a generation. So Ernie, I got to tell you, thank you so much for digging. I know you had to do a lot of digging, getting them out of your basement. You've been my best friend as long as I even had a best friend. So thank you for being that.
Back at you, brother.
Everybody, if you have any questions or you like this content, I would encourage you to please hit the subscribe button. Ernie, you are wonderful for spending the time that you did today, and we will definitely talk soon. Everybody, hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. So now I'm actually going to go through my very first reveal video. So I got this, it's really about 1.5 boxes full. Because it's a little loose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to consolidate it into a short box. But I picked this up, I estimated about 400 comics, and as I mentioned before, this is all, hey Rigby, all Bad Girl comics. So here you're going to see I brought them together into about 1.5 boxes. I am starting to separate them. I know Witchblade has some value. What I'm going to do is after I start taking these out and sorting them, I'll figure out which books I'm going to keep. Most of these are bad girl books, but I see Cremator, Dead King. So there are a couple of non-bad girl books mixed in here. A lot of these are not DC. Most of these are independent, but here you'll see a couple of my DC titles. Oh, Batman Detective Comics. It's kind of funny who the person I got this from clearly was into the bad girl genre, but he picked up a few other books here and there. Killer Gnomes actually looks cool. I am hoping, or I had hoped there was more Lady Death, because Lady Death always did well with me, but I see that was not a Lady Death, but Unholy. A lot of these books I've never even heard of before, so it's going to take a little bit of research on my part to figure out what I got here. Harlequin. You know, there are a lot of Harlequin books, and, you know, I am not sure if I'm a Harlequin fan or not, but I certainly like the movie, and I got to believe they probably have a little bit of value, I'm hoping. Vampirella's, I guess, Vampy is just one of the Vampirella titles. Yeah, a lot of these I just am very unfamiliar with, so I'm going to have to check them out. Witchblade, I know Witchblade, Michael Turner really always had done some great work. And I know these Cry for Dawns or Crypt for Dawns, they are pretty appealing looking. So some of these I'm sure I'm going to be keeping out of this collection, but the rest I'm gonna sell. I'm just not really sure what I'll be selling them for, but the price I got this whole collection for was something I really just couldn't turn my back on. So so I'm gonna go sort through this collection now, and I'm gonna return and show you what I'm going to keep, and then ultimately I may end out using Instagram and start posting some for sale, or maybe I'll sell it via what is that, Facebook Marketplace, something like that. But okay, so stay tuned. I'm going to now show you what I'm going to keep out of this collection, and we'll see what I get. So thanks for joining, and stay tuned. I just want to take a moment here to thank our sponsor, Comic Skin, for giving us 5% off any of their self-slab devices, which is the singles, the 5-packs, or the 10-packs. To claim the 5% off, just make sure at checkout, where you can type in a coupon code, you put John the Comic Guy 5, and you get your 5% off. These devices, for me, work fantastic. They're my favorite out of all the self-slab devices because after you put your comic in and they're protected, they are more of a typical size of a slab. So for my OCD, they're not a little shorter, they're not a little thinner. They just fit perfect in with my other slabs. The other devices I've noticed, they're a little shorter, they're a little thinner, and you can't have a customized label, or if you can, it doesn't have a customized label that just meets my needs. So for me, I'm able to customize my favorite books in my own collection and be able to read them again and then put it back in the self-slab device whenever I want. So again, for me, it's just perfect. So again, claim your 5%, get some self-slabs, and if you do, if you make your own labels, share them with me. I really want to see how your books come out. You've seen some of mine. I'm going to continue to share how mine look, but I want to see what yours looks like. So thank you so much to Comic Skin for the 5% off. John the Comic Guy 5. Now that we flipped through the 1.5 boxes of these Bad Girl books, let me show you a couple of books that I pulled out that I'm not going to keep. I'm going to sell these because I think they have some value. I'm going to probably have to do a little bit more research because I'm not really that familiar with the genre. I know of it. I bought a couple of them back in the 90s when I kind of got amped up into it as well. But these are books that I'm not going to keep. I'm ultimately going to sell, but I think they have a little bit of value in this collection. The first is Witchblade number 1. Sorry about the glare again. I was always a Michael Turner fan, and I thought this character was pretty cool as well. So this obviously is going to go in my inventory. Not exactly sure how I'm going to price it out yet, but I believe as I was doing a quick scan that has a little bit more value than the rest. The other Witchblade book, and it had almost a full run of Witchblade for the first 10 or 20 issues, is Witchblade number 10. The relevant point of this book and why this is quote-unquote sort of a key is this is the first appearance of the Darkness, and the Darkness happens to be a character that I'm a big fan of. So Mark Silvestri, and one of these days I might do an episode on some of the lesser known books that I tend to really like, and the Darkness is one of them. But this is the first appearance of it. As a matter of fact, the copy that I have is a variant where it shows as the Darkness 0 with gold embossing. So I'll show you that one of these days. But Witchblade 10, first appearance of Darkness. The other, and I guess I'll show these together, is this is a title that I was really not that familiar with, Jim Balance Tarot. And it's the Witch of the Black Rose. Tarot, the Witch of the Black Rose. I have the first 120 issues of this, so it was a complete run basically. Some issues even had duplicates, but I saw number 1 seemed to have some value. Really, all of them. Into the 50s and 60s, people had them priced at about $10, $15. So at the very least, it's going to warrant me doing a little bit more research. And while I do these research, if I put them ultimately in my $5 boxes or something like that, I think everybody will win that. So now, those are the books that out of this collection, again, it's a Bad Girl collection. I don't think that genre is particularly flaming hot right now. But let me show you some of the books that I decided to keep for whatever reason. And it's really not value. I don't think these have a lot of value, but I like them. And you're going to see why. The first is Harley Quinn number 3. I like that cover. I think it's kind of charming. Harley Quinn, I don't know if I'm a Harley Quinn fan or a Margot Robbie fan. And really, when you ask that question, does it really matter? Either way, she got me liking Harley Quinn. She put Harley Quinn, in John the Comic Guy's opinion, on the map. So suddenly, I see a Harley Quinn book with a cover like that. I like it. This is another Harley Quinn book, number 8. I thought it was fascinating because I've noticed people when characters are in swimsuits, suddenly the price starts to rise, and this price seemed to be a little bit out of line with the rest of the run, and being in a little higher. So I like it. I thought, again, it's a Harley Quinn book. I feel I'm going to keep it for now. Another Harley Quinn, and I tend to also have an awareness of holiday covers. So you saw the Valentine's Day cover. I got this issue number 10. It's a Christmas cover. Her sitting on Batman's lap. I think it's fun. It's charming. Maybe around the holidays, I'm going to display it on my backs, in my bookcase. So Harley Quinn holiday cover, and a matter of fact, you're going to see a few more of those. I think Harley Quinn in particular must take advantage of the holiday season, because this is her sitting on Santa's lap this time, and this is issue number 55. So again, the cover itself to me does look very appealing. I think the artwork is great, and it would be around the holiday season for me a fine book to stick in my bookcase to display. So Harley Quinn number 55. Another one, again, I gotta believe, I think if these are priced out, these are probably dollar books, right? They don't have a lot of value, unless I'm totally mistaken. But here's a Harley Quinn holiday special. Again, a nice little Christmas genre cover. It's a holiday special number 1. If anything, it may be taking up a little bit of space in my comic collection box, but that's okay. If for now that I'm enjoying the holiday cover, and you'll see me bust it out around Christmas time, it's worth it for me to keep it for now, right? Nothing is set in stone. Now the next book is one of the few tarot books I decided to keep. I just think the detail in this cover, if you could see that, is phenomenal. I really like how the face is drawn. I'm a stickler for that. Sometimes if I see the faces of the artwork and they're a little in what I would consider wonky, I don't keep it. How much is this worth? If the pricing is what I kind of think, it might be a $5, possibly a $10 book. But again, I need to do a little bit more research. But the fact is, I wanted to keep this just because I think the cover is so beautiful. Here's another tarot. Again, another book. I think the cover is obviously very goth, kind of cool. But I just find this cover very appealing. So I'm gonna hold on to this one for now. The final one in the tarot series that I'm gonna keep, and again, I know if I had that run of 120 issues, I'm sort of breaking up the run, but look, I'm gonna, as you guys know me, I'm gonna sell the whole series. That's what I'm gonna probably do, is I'm just gonna flip the series, and I'm gonna sell it so cheap. If people are paying a couple of bucks a book, are they really gonna care? But this is another tarot. I think this is issue number 110. I like the cover. I think it's drawn well. I think the caricature on the cover looks beautiful. So for me, for now, warrants me keeping it. Now, the last couple of books that I'm going to keep are from Joseph Michael Linsner. I always thought he had some big skills. In the 90s, I saw some of these books on comic book store walls, so I don't think they warrant that kind of attention anymore, and I don't think these guys have much value at this point. But again, the art from Joseph Michael Linsner is really good, and I remember reading about this particular cover. He couldn't get it right, and he was making himself crazy, so he kept on redrawing it, and finally during the Dawn series, he got it to a point that he drew it, and he was happy with it, and this is the result. I see why he's happy with it. It's beautiful. Dawn number 6 of 6. So, again, is this a dollar book? Maybe. You guys know I'm not obsessed with just the value. Sometimes if it's a cover that looks beautiful, I'm keeping it. Likewise, this Dawn, so I think this is the 10th anniversary special. I remember seeing this on the comic book walls when I was shopping for Spawn, Cyberforce, all the Image books, right, in the 90s. I saw this on the wall next to him. When I get it in an acquisition like this, why not? I'll keep it. I think it looks great. It's the photorealism of that. Dawn really is beautiful. It's a beautiful character. I guess the whole Dawn series, Cry for Dawn, Crypt of Dawn, it's a little on the dark side. So I'm not particularly a dark kind of comic guy, but a cover like this, it's really beautiful. Another Joseph Michael Linsner book, drama. I remember this coming out as well. I think I saw this on the stands, but I might not have. I might have just seen it on the wall. But again, relatively valueless, I think, but it's a beautiful cover. The last but not least is a Crypt of Dawn number 2. I so remember seeing this book, eyeing it up, never buying it from the store. It's just, for me, I was always more of a mainstream superhero kind of a guy. But the artwork on this, Joseph Michael Linsner's artwork on this, really, again, I think it's probably the red. My favorite color is red. Then you see the gray background. It really pops. It didn't pop enough for me to spend $10 for it in the 90s or whatever it was, but having acquired it as a part of a Bad Girl collection, what the heck. And if next week I decide I need some room and I sell it, what the heck, right? That's the way I roll. So, everybody, I thank you for joining me on my very first reveal video. Keep your fingers crossed. I hope I have a reveal video on some golden or silver age one of these days. That would make me happy. And I actually got a couple of those collections earlier this year. But hey, Bad Girl stuff is fun as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this content, please do hit the subscribe button. If you guys are Bad Girl comic fans, let me know. I got Harley Quinn. I got you saw a lot of them. I got a lot of tarot. If you guys are interested in it, again, being subscribers, I'll give you a slamming deal on those. So I could, what I'll do is I'll bundle up a price. I'll get your address and I'll figure out a way to ship it to you with the cheapest possible shipping. I use pirate ship, right? So at least you know I'm gonna send it. I'll just pass on. I'm not gonna round up the overall number. I'll just charge you exactly the shipping, and I'll even send you a picture of the shipping label. So if you like this content, hit subscribe. I really do appreciate you joining me for my first reveal video. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Ernie. That for me was really a pleasure, right? He's such a great guy. Been my best friend, and I really enjoyed talking comics with him. I would be talking comics with him whether I was videotaping it or not. So anyway, thank you again for joining. I will talk to you all soon.